Hello everybody, this is Steve Lynskey on OneWrestling.com Face to Face, and today I'm bringing you a very special guest, and I hope you're down with this guest. Please welcome to the show, Mr. D'Lo Brown.
Lynskey, what's going on, my friend?
How's it going, Mr. Brown?
Well, I'm hanging in there, relaxing, getting ready to do my thing, but I'm having fun.
That's good. So, if we let the lovely audience know, it was probably 2007 when we first met.
Yep, one of the worst days of my.
Yeah, for the FWA. I remember the night well. A bottle of Jack Daniels drunk in your room, I believe.
Yeah, and we're affectionately from that point on, we've called each other JD all the time. So
That's right. Yeah. So that was the first time you came out of England. You've been over a few times.
yeah,
Obviously,
I love.
obviously a very wide and varied career for yourself. So, do you want to go through that? Should we start? How did you start?
I tell the story a lot. I'd gone on to college and then went and worked as an accountant. But I'd played at wrestling a lot when I was a kid, with my friends, doing backyard stuff. Started working in Manhattan, and I just, the office life wasn't for me. So I called some of my old boys up back at home, and they were still renting rings and playing at wrestling. So I said, hell, why not? So went down to the school one day and just played around. We rented a ring, we'd do our own little pay-per-views. We had our own little paper-mache belts and all that crap. And a guy named Larry Sharp, it was his ring we were renting. So one day he decided to stick around to see all this free money he was making off these bunch of marks he was renting his ring. And so he saw me, he goes, hey, you're pretty athletic, pretty big. You ever think about doing this for real? And I said, oh, okay. And he goes, well, you be my next show up, you sell 50 tickets. So I sold 5, bought the rest myself, and that's how I got on my first show.
Nice. So progressing from there, you wrestled Smoky Mountain, right?
Yeah, right out of there, I was probably in that school probably about 3 months. And then I drove Balls Mahoney, who was doing the Boo Bradley gimmick. I drove him down to Smoky Mountain Wrestling because he didn't have a car at the time. And the only thing I was promised was I would have an opportunity to talk to Jim Cornette to see if I get a dark match. So when I met Jimmy, he goes, all right, kid, tell me what you can do. I talked to him, and he goes, you got 8 minutes. Show me what you can do. And that's how I got my first dark match with Smoky Mountain. And 2 weeks later, I was on TV for them. And then it just steamrolled from there.
Okay, so going on from there, I mean, obviously, people that know about you, we've seen you in WWE, Japan for Pro Wrestling Noah. So how did WWE come about?
I was wrestling in Puerto Rico at the time. I just left Smoky Mountain, and I spent the summer in Puerto Rico. And I always stayed in contact with Jim Cornette. And I remember coming home for Christmas break, and I called Jimmy just to say hey. And he goes, hey, kid, where the hell you been? And I said I was down in Puerto Rico. He goes, all right, I'll call you right back. Okay. So a couple days later, he goes, can you be in New York on Saturday? I was like, yeah. He goes, you got a suit? Yeah. All right. Wait by the phone. Click. 10 minutes later, WWF Travel was calling me, booking me a flight to Shotgun Saturday Night. It came to find out, the story went that when the Nation was, the Nation first formed, it had a bunch of guys, other than Ron, the guys who could wrestle, had a bunch of guys outside wearing suits, and none of them were actually wrestlers. So they wanted a guy who could be on the floor in a suit who could actually, bump and work.
Yeah.
So Jim Cornette suggested me, and when I called him, that's how it rolled into motion. And then the rest is, it just rolled on, and it's still going.
Wow. So let's fast forward to today. Where does the future see D'Lo Brown?
Well, I think, and I've said this a couple times before, I think a year ago I was very happy being retired and not doing anything, and being an agent and doing the autograph circuit. But then I had that match with Kurt Angle about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And that just reignited some old flames in me, got some juices flowing again. So now that I no longer have to worry about being an agent, I decided, well, I might as well just go ahead and get back in the ring. I haven't done anything for 4 years, so my body has 4 years of less wear and tear on it, and I'm gonna do clinics and do autograph signings, and I'll do bookings, and you're gonna see me in the ring sometime near you soon.
Wow. So does this mean that D'Lo Brown is open to offers to come back to the UK?
D'Lo Brown is definitely open to offers to come back to the UK and Japan and anywhere else I can go right now.
Wow. So if anyone would like to book you,
If anybody would like to book me, they can always get me at dlobookings.com or hit me up on my Twitter at dlobrown75, and I will refer you to my booking agent. And I want to go as many places as I can and do everything I can do.
That's great. That's great. And we'd like to see you back in the UK again because.
Well, I got such love for the fans in the UK, and they always give me a great reception whenever I'm there.
As is evident. I want to hit about one story, and you're going to tell this better than what I can. Well, I was there. It was a place in Broxbourne. It was for the FWA, and your opponent for the night was Doug Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And you know which story I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to tell this story.
So I'm having, I'm set up to have a match with Doug Williams, and I'm fresh off WWE TV, Impact TV. And so usually the people give you a strong babyface reaction. But my role was to be a heel that night. And I said, okay, I'm going to go do my best. So I go out there, and I remember going out and the crowd's going crazy. So in my mind, I said, you know what? I'm going to have a little fun. I'm gonna do what wrestlers do, and I'm gonna have a little fun. So I cut this big pro babyface promo, and the crowd's going crazy. And I remember looking over at you, staying in the ring, and I mouthed to you, "Watch this."
Watch this.
And your face was like, "What?" And I went from being an angel to being the devil incarnate in about 15 seconds. So when Doug walked through the curtain, it didn't matter who walked through the curtain. They were going to get a Stone Cold Steve Austin pop, and it was funny. And I remember sitting with you in the hotel room that night, and we talked about that for hours afterwards. Just how cool that was.
It was just when you looked at me and goes, "Watch this."
Because you had no clue where I was going. I bet people in the back were a little worried too.
Yeah.
But it worked out, and Doug got a great reaction. The match got a great reaction. We had a good match, so that made it all worthwhile. And after the match, the crowd gave me a standing ovation because they knew what I was doing. Yeah. They knew what I had to do for the match, so it was kind of cool.
But there's been some good times in England, and I'd like more of them. Because I think it's what's missing at the minute is having those nice road trips.
Mm-hmm.
A few Jack Daniels and
few detours that I've had to take along the way. But for the most part, riding up and down the motorways there over in England have been really fun.
It's great. So if people want to get hold of you, let's give out that address again.
Bookings at AOL.com, or hit me up on my Twitter, DLoBrown75. Hit me up anytime. I don't do Facebook. Sorry, people. But I'm always active with my Twitter. And, if you email me and your sincere offer and legit offer, I'll definitely get back to you on my booking address.
Fantastic. D'Lo Brown, thank you for joining us this evening. And we hope to see you in the UK very, very soon. In fact, all over. Do you want to go back to Japan?
I want to go back to Japan. Definitely, that's something I'm actively working on.
Oh, great. So hopefully I'll get the scoop on that when it happens, right?
You'll get the scoop on it when it happens.
D'Lo Brown, thank you for joining me.
All right, Lynskey.
We'll see you soon. Guys,
Peace.
This has been Face to Face. I'm Lynskey, and this has been D'Lo Brown, and we shall see you at the matches. How do I stop this?